Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, brothers and sisters. Jazakumullah khairan from being here. We apologize for our delay in our start. Please have a seat. إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلله فلا هادي له ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له ونشهد أن سيدنا ومولانا محمدا عبده ورسوله. Brothers and sisters, we are thankful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for this opportunity that He has gathered us so that we may prepare ourselves for one of the greatest faridah and obligation in Islam, which is the faridah of Hajj. Before we even get to the details of its, what we need to do and the do's and the don'ts, inshallah, I would humbly request Sheikh Wahid, inshallah, to introduce to us the entire program itself in a few minutes, inshallah, related to the logistics, the do's and the don'ts. And I practically say that these are the words that you will not get anywhere else. Many of the things that I will say that you will find in books as well, but these are tips that you will receive to make your Hajj beneficial and worthy, inshallah. So please make sure that you take these pointers back, inshallah, so that you can completely benefit and inshallah make your Hajj as productive as possible. So without a further ado, inshallah, I would humbly request Sheikh Wahid, inshallah, to speak for a few minutes and inshallah introduce to us our program, the logistics and some of the details related to our Hajj, inshallah, the journey 2017 Hajj for ourselves, inshallah.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على أفضل المرسلين سيدنا ونبينا محمد صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم. First, I tell everybody who get his visa, he put the intention, he proceeded everything. Congratulations, Mabruk, that you go into Hajj. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have invited you. You really didn't go because you have money or you're healthy. You went because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala invited you. Your name was there, that's why Allah put it in your heart. So congratulations for whoever, let's put it, the winners of the Hajj this year. So I'll take you through on the logistic, what's going to happen from the time, give you some advices to reach safe there and reach us in your destination in Medina or Mecca. As Al-Iman groups, most of our, we have 6 programs, 5 of them arriving to Medina first, which is the majority of the 400 Hajji. More than 350 reaching Medina first. The departure will start on the 17th night on Emirates Airline and on the 18th morning also on Emirates Airline. So let's say you're leaving now from home, try to pack. On you have a kit like this. This is a backpack. It's very important that you take it with you. You have an ID. That ID is very important, which I have. This is my last year ID, by the way. This is the ID. It is more developed. This is the ID. It's very important that you wear your ID once you reach JFK. If your flight, like first flight, for example, we have a flight on the 18th, at 4:30 p.m. You should be there minimum. It's a Hajj flight. Hajj flight meaning there is not a single seat empty. So you should be there 4 hours at least before the flight. And once you get into JFK, just take that ID and put it around your neck. So people will know each other. There is a group leader will be with you on the flight. He will know you. There is the only way he will know that you are with Al-Iman. So starting from JFK, you should wear that ID. That ID is very important all through the trip because your passport will be taken from you if you're reaching Medina or if you're reaching into Jeddah to the Hajj camp. The passport's been taken, you're going to see it again in your way out. So from here, make a copy of your passport. Make a copy of your green card. Be very careful with your personal items, especially the green card. You don't want to lose that. Make a copy of your IDs, all your IDs, even the one you're going to keep with you. The passport, couple copies, one in that bag, one in that bag. So you're starting from here. The thing is what you should pack with you. You're going in Hajj in summer, in August. So you need to take things which help you in there. In Mina. in the manasik. In the hotel, you have all the facility. In the manasik, you need, for example, some sunscreen lotion, unscented. Sun is very strong there. You need an umbrella, durable, strong umbrella. You're gonna need something. You may need it. You need some. For sure, you're gonna take your medication. You wanna take something for headache. I mean, we have also that facility. We have many doctors in the group. As a medical assistant there, they have already a lot of assistant. The Saudi government put like emergency booths there. You go in there, they give you medication. Take something for the flu, because this is a common. Everybody comes back with the flu. That's a common, and the cough and the flu. Take with you a mask. If you could take it and wear it, I can't. I put it 5 minutes and I'm just, but you need, it's advisable you take a mask with you, especially when you go in a crowded area. So from here, you're gonna go in 4 hours before, you check in, you go into Medina. You go into Medina, some they're gonna stop in Dubai. There's a big group is gonna stop in Dubai and then move in. You have a group leader. The number one success is following instruction all through the whole trip. Follow the instruction of the group leader, follow the instruction of the management of the group, because they know what it is. They have experienced it. This is our 20th year doing this. So follow the instruction. Once you're gonna land in Medina airport, you just proceed. There is no grouping, there's nothing. Just to proceed into the immigration officer. You're gonna process your passport like any process. There is a fingerprint, there is a picture, like any normal trip. Then you walk out, you see your luggage, and then it's gonna be one point they're gonna stop you. And at one point you cannot just walk out because you wanna collect your passport. To collect your passport, the company have to be present. We have a staff who will be waiting for you, knowing by your name. We have the list of the names on this flight number. We have 50 people, this flight number, we have 80 people. Even this flight number, we have one person. The staff is waiting there, wearing the same, logo for the company, the name. They will have very bright vests. You can point them right away. They will be holding signs. It's very important that you look them up, and you wear this on your back, facing the name, and you wear your ID. Then they will see you either from the ID. If you are looking around, they will see you from the back. Then they will take you, because the Saudi Hajj ministry, they want to know which hotel you're going and the number of the contract and all that, which staff will be there ready to do that. They will collect everyone. They will stay, live in the airport until everybody comes in. Then they put you on buses and they come to the hotel. When you come to the hotel, there is a rooming list there. The management will be waiting for you. Accordingly, they will put you on your room. If you are in a double room, if you are in a quad room, whatever you requested, it will be there. In the hotels, there will be a presence of the staff 24 hours in the hotels. That's in Medina. And if you need anything on your ID, in the back of your ID, there is number, Saudi numbers. So you can call at any time. Your ID is very important to you, because this is the only thing. God forbid if you faint or you get dizzy or any emergency, there is a number here, the name of the company and the registration number of the company. You will be spotted in second. They are good in that, and they will contact us immediately. Then we will be with you. So your ID is very important. For any reason you lose your ID, come back and we do what we can to replace it or do something to give you an ID. The mutawif will give you a bracelet. This bracelet also is another ID in case if you lose this. It has a muallim number or the mutawif number. They will connect you into which group in very fast. They are good in that facility in the Hajj ministry. You reach to Medina, you're going to stay in Medina, some day staying 4 nights, some day staying 3 nights. The staff will let you know. They will give you a day-to-day Once you arrive there, this is your day-to-day activity, and it's also on the website on your program. If you go on the website and you go to details, go to itinerary, and you will see what's happening every day in that program until the end. In case if you didn't read it, they will give it to you. Your luggage, before you leave here, each one have 3 luggage tag. The luggage tag must be, this is your luggage savior. This is your luggage tag. It has your picture and your name. And if you provide us with your address, you're going to find also your address. That will save your luggage. Like a luggage like this will come to us into the office. And many times we come after Hajj, I found in the office like 2-3 suitcases. They got lost. Then they bring it into the address of the company right here. And that, like this one here, for Brother Muhammad Isa, he can write his address in the back. Then this way the luggage would come to him. That would help us in the operation because we're going to handle your luggage. We know Muhammad Isa, they have their rooming list, they have where he's staying. We're going to give you an instruction the day before you go to Medina. Before you go from Mecca to Medina, we'll collect your luggage at the night, and then we ship it into the hotel, the Movenpick Hotel, for example, or the Conrad, which we're going to. So this is very important for your luggage. Without this, your luggage will not be picked up. So you have 3. You are allowed on all the flight 2 suitcases and 15-pound ID. My advice to you is we're going in the summer, and this year the number of Hajjis have increased 20% than the last year. So it is a lot of crowd. I know you're going to buy dates, you're going to buy gifts, and start with 1 suitcase from here. Over there, whatever China send into here, China send into Saudi Arabia. It's a big market. You can buy it for less money than buying it from Costco. Buy it from there, put the stuff, and then go home with it. Going back, try to be as light as possible. Take very light clothes with you. Don't burden yourself with a lot, because everything is there if you need anything. Your movement from Medina to Mecca, you will have from day one, they will tell you which area you're going to have your breakfast and you're going to have your dinner. You will have a lecture for the time you're staying in Medina. After breakfast by 9:30 a.m., every day we'll have a lecture about Hajj, and by 10:30 at the end of the dinner, you're going to have another lecture about Hajj. We have Mufti Farhan, we have Sheikh Muhammad Shinawi, we have Sheikh Sami, we have Sheikh Saadullah. We have very qualified scholar. May Allah zid him ilm and give them knowledge, inshallah. So you will not have any question which is not answered. From the administration, if you have any questions, you will find somebody. If you want to see me personally, you will see me without looking, or just tell them where is Baza Wahid. I'm available there. You're going to move. Then there will be a listing for the buses from the day one. Then you know which bus number you will be in. Let's say you are on bus number 11. This is the bus will take you to Medina, from Medina to Mecca. So the bus comes in, you go to bus number 11, and you have to go to bus number 11 because your passport will be in bus number 11. So it's very important. So you know which bus. That's it. I advise everybody to attend the lecture. It's very important because you should have already read a lot of knowledge. It's on the website, and every Islamic website, how to do Hajj. There is a YouTubes and for all the scholars. Spend a few hours before you go to Hajj and prepare your heart and do the Hajj with your heart. On the 30th of August, after you staying, some group they're staying in Mecca 7 nights, which is B1. The B2 and B3 and B2 staying also 4 nights and staying longer time. B3 and B5 they staying 4 nights, and then they're going back in to the manasik, and they coming back. Every group just read the instruction on the website for your program. At that August 30, which is Al-Hijjah 8, we go into the tarwiyah. Before we go there, we strictly follow the sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We don't really, because this is one thing which is authenticated, how alayhi salatu wasalam did his Hajj. That's how we do in our Hajj. What he did, what time he threw Jamarat, what time he did this, what he did, when he did it, we'll do the same thing inshallah. So may Allah accept it from all of us. We're going to Mina on the 8th in the morning. You have your breakfast in the hotel, and the whole group moves in to Mina on the Tarwiyah day. And then we, on the Tarwiyah day you have in Mina, we are next to Jamarat. We have the catering service, is a 5-star catering company. We have open buffet, breakfast, lunch, and dinner in Mina. And then you will spend the 8th of Dhul Hijjah. Sometimes before Fajr, it's a schedule. We are on the train. They will call on us. Al-Iman, Dar es Salaam, Falcon. Okay, you're moving out to the train now. So we will all gather and move, walk in few escalators, and whoever cannot walk, just let us know. There is a golf carts by the Saudi Hajj Ministry, and whoever in a wheelchair or he cannot walk or this and that, some buses will go in from the camp into Arafah. Our buses. We're using our private things, all our buses, except when you land into the airport, we use the facility of the airport. And then after that, we will have the same bus all the time. Good buses will carry you. For whoever cannot walk up to the train, he can take the bus into Arafah. But I advise everybody, in the way back, go with the train. Because in the way back, there is traffic, there is even even person in a wheelchair, we have a staff, will help and take you in to the train. Whatever it takes, it's much better than the bus. We'll go into Muzdalifah. It's a rugged area, nice, with rugs. After, right a little bit before Maghrib, we'll move. And then we'll go to Muzdalifah, pray Maghrib and Isha. And you eat something, you have a box, dinner in a box. And you have all the scholars, and you just rest and pray Fajr and move into the train. And you will be, since they made the train, you will be in Mina by, I would say, 7:30 in the morning. You're finishing the first Jamrat al-Aqaba, and you come into Mina. We have a group sacrifice. We have a contractor, which we pay him. He will give us a call, and then you'll be able to get off your ihram. And then we have in Mina, the buses will not allow in Mina to go in, pick up and go to the haram to do tawaf ziyarah and this and that. We have golf cart will take you. This is allowed to go. I hope they don't change their mind. We put that in the plan, and we have the golf cart will take you into the bus, back and forth. So whoever cannot walk, for the elderly and the person who can't walk, the golf cart will take you outside the tunnel. The bus will be there, then take you to the haram for tawaf ziyarat. Normally, the whole group, the 400 people, by the second day, they finish tawaf ziyarat. Some groups, they continuing the Tashriq days, like B1, staying until the 13th of Dhul Hijjah in Mina. B2 and B3, they do in Ta'ajjul, they go into the hotel in Jeddah. Some they will go according to your plan. Some they're gonna stay 2 nights in Jeddah, and then you go back to the state. There is another group which is B4. B4 arrive to Medina on the 4th of Dhul Hijjah, stay in Medina until the 8th of Dhul Hijjah, will fly to Jeddah, do the Umrah, and then go to Mina. And as everybody, as I said before, that goes for everybody. There is another group which will come to Mecca. The only one comes to Mecca, arrive on the 27th of August, which is the 5th of Dhul Hijjah, and then they stay, do their Umrah, and then they go into Manasik, we are all the same, and then they go to Medina after, and then they leave for Medina on the 9th and the 10th of September. What I would say is, and my advice to you, just try in the few days left, give an hour a day, watch on a YouTube from a scholar who you trust how to do Hajj, read and prepare your heart. And my advice to you also, do the Hajj with your heart. When you do the Hajj with your heart, believe me, you will enjoy it a lot. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept from all of us. And the staff will be around you. You're not going to look for someone to help you because they are next to you. Inshallah, I personally will be there with you in Mina. If you just ask with Brother Wahid, I will hear you while you're asking. We have a lot of medical help. We have a lot of doctors in the group. And everybody helps each other beside that. And inshallah, we promise you as Al-Iman and as Al-Iman management that we do our best to serve you. Alhamdulillah, this is our 20th year. And the satisfaction rate, alhamdulillah, this is with His mercy on us, is very high. So hopefully this year will be better than the year before, which we usually do. And if you have any questions for me, I would answer it now in a few minutes before Mufti Sahib will come in and take over on the religious part, which anyone have a question? Okay, all the, yes, go ahead. Whoever I know he's here, I have few passports inside. For whoever his list, I will pick up his passport from here, he's gonna have it from here. Whoever, all the passports are in, like let's say in total, they are in the office. I brought some with me here for the people, they said, okay, bring our passport. If whoever informed me, I have his passport inside, his kit inside. If you are here, I would advise to come and pick it up. Tomorrow, Sunday, we are open, just drive, put the car anywhere in the city and pick it up. If you send the return receipt and when you prefer that, it's fine. We're going to call you and just ship it on Monday morning. No, nothing is getting here. No, nothing is getting here. We're going to put in your package as much as the package can get. If we have to change it and cut the slip and put it in a bigger one, that's if you cannot pick it up. But I really strongly advise, come and pick up from the passport. We are open tomorrow until midnight. Maybe sometimes after midnight. Tomorrow by 10 until Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us strength until we finish everything. And everything will be out by Monday, inshallah. I'll give you one I have in English and I have in Urdu. And I'll bring you one in Arabic, inshallah. Inshallah. And in the area of the dua, it's from the sunnah, that what you say in your heart. Don't make a book and go around and you're going to see people, somebody shouting and they shout behind him. The whole issue is that your heart work. Your heart wakes up in the Hajj. Do the dua, whatever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give you. Just say it in any language. Bleed to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Cry. Really, I advise in Arafah, when you go to Arafah, on the day of Arafah, a lot of brothers, they go to sleep. They have the lunch and sleep. Some brothers will wake them up, brother, wake up, we're leaving. This is Arafah day, this is the Hajj, Al-Hajj Arafah. Spend your time after Salat al-Dhuhr and al-Asr and the khutbah. Go somewhere in Arafah and remember all your sins and ask subhanahu wa ta'ala for forgiveness. Cry. Make yourself cry. Cry to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and ask for His forgiveness. Because this is a chance. This is the one trip in your lifetime. Allah subhanahu, I am 64 years. All my goal and every brother's goal, Husn al-Khatimah and Jannat al-Firdaus. And Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says, Hijjatun mabrura la jaza'u laha illa al-Jannah. The only reward for Hajj mabrur is the Jannah. You know that your money is halal, your intention is true, and you're going for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, not just only to get the title of Hajji. If this is there, the only reward is Jannah, and that's not me. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said it. وَهُوَ لَا يَنْتِقْ عَنِ الْهَوَى. So be sure that you're getting to Jannah, inshallah. And Mufti Saab will take over and give you the religious part of it, and will be with you all the time, inshallah. You will always see us. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Nahmaduhu wa nusalli ala rasulihil kareem, amma ba'd. Brothers and sisters, again, indeed it is a karam, the blessing and the rahmah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who has accepted every one of us to be able to perform this farida and this obligation. We should not only be partaking this journey, some for us as farais, some of it for someone else. Our main maqsad and our purpose should be to find the closeness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That should be at least one of our purposes when we are taking this journey of Hajj itself, inshallah. For many of us who are sitting here, many of us, we are going towards Medina Munawwara first. We will be there for a few days, inshallah, approximately 4 days. For those who are going with B1, I'm flying out on the 17th. Inshallah, we will be getting to Medina Munawwara on the morning of the Saturday at 3 a.m. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday are the 4 days that we will be in Medina Munawwara. On Saturday, we'll get there at 3 a.m. We'll spend the entire day. And of course, we'll talk about that in just a few moments. What can we do? Sunday, we will also be our own individual time. Monday morning at 8 a.m. will be our ziyarah in Medina Munawwara. And then Tuesday itself will be an extra day for us. And then, of course, Wednesday we proceed towards Makkah Mukarramah, and that's when we begin our journey from Medina Munawwara to Makkah Mukarramah. While we are going towards Medina, we do not need to be in the state of ihram. We do not have to be in the state of ihram, which means that we do not really have to prepare for the Umrah or Hajj as of now. But it's very important that individually we prepare ourselves. I'm not going to burden you with all the information of what Hajj is, what is Mina, what is Arafah, what is Muzdalifah, what is the pelting of the stones. All of these things, inshallah, in the 4 days that we will be in Medina Munawwara, every single day we'll have a couple of hours of seminar in the morning and the evening to discuss this and how to perform our Hajj. So keep yourself relaxed. Yes, read upon it. We can share with you some good PowerPoint presentations that you can read, but the best thing, inshallah, is that read a little bit, but the main focus upon how to perform Hajj in all of its details, how to perform Umrah, what is Ihram, what nullifies Ihram, what is Dam, what doesn't allow the Dam, in all of its detail, inshallah, we will discuss when we are in Medina to Munawwara. So you do not have to worry about anything. We will have sessions with brothers and sisters sitting right in front of us, and they will be asking questions. It will be interactive sessions in which, inshallah, you will have enough time to easily prepare yourself and be confident enough, inshallah, that when you're going towards Makkah Mukarramah, you know everything, inshallah. You will have enough confidence inside of you that you know what the 5 days of Hajj or the days of Umrah itself, whatever it entails, inshallah, you will know this. For now, at this current moment, our journey will be towards Medina Munawwara. Hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam that I would like to share with you, few of them. First and foremost, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Hadith of Ibn Khuzaymah, the Nabi of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned that indeed my intercession is incumbent upon an individual who comes and visits my grave. Meaning a person who is going for the ziyarah of the Nabi of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in Medina Munawwara. Indeed, it is the most honorable of the cities across the globe where Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam chose to stay, And of course, the Nabi of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam's resting place is there as well. Once we get to Medina Munawwara, inshallah, we will also talk about what to do and how to make our time productive as well. Not only that I travel with Al-Iman, but one thing that I really want to make sure that it's clear to everyone that alhamdulillah, for the many years that I have been a part of Al-Iman, whatever we have been told, we have been given, right? Not only that I advocate on behalf of a group, but some of the brothers sitting here have gone previously as well. And they could be a witness that this is something that you should really feel confident upon. Second thing is that you will also be very confident that every single amal and action of your manasik, inshallah, will be according to the Quran and the Sunnah of the Prophet of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It is indeed our own selves of how much we try. Also, a point to note is that every single year there is some sort of change that comes not from the group but the government itself or the Hajj ministry itself. And sometimes it is unexpected. And we are not any prepared of it any times. So that's why sometimes there is ups and downs in our journey. But I always request brothers and sisters to please make sure that we always have to be patient. Sincerity and patience are two things that I push the most for Hajj itself. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when He mentions the farida and obligation of Hajj, He mentions sincerity before even Hajj. So first and foremost, let's make our intentions sincere for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Once we are sincere, wallahi, our journey will be very, very smooth. The Nabi of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, a time will come upon my ummah that the scholars will perform Hajj because of respect and dignity. Oh, this sheikh, this 10 and 20 and 30 and 40 and 50 for the reasons of showing others. The rich will do for the reasons of vacation. The poor for the reasons of begging, and the middle class for the reasons of tijarat and interactions. Ikhlas and sincerity will leave. Ibn Umar radiallahu anh saw a group of individuals mounted on camels on the mountain of Safa and Marwa. He said, you look like visitors from far away. Where did you come from? They said, we came from far distance. He says, you have any other concern except for visiting the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Says, they say, we have no other concern. So he said, glad tidings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for you that I've heard Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam saying that anyone who does Hajj only for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will return back as though that their mothers have just given them birth. Meaning completely forgiven by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Amr ibn al-As radiallahu anh said that when I accepted Islam, and when Allah put subhanahu wa ta'ala put love of Islam in my heart, I came to Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And I said, oh Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, extend your hand. I want to take the pledge of Islam and accept Islam. He said, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam extended his hand and I pulled my hand back. And the Nabi of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Amr, why did you do this? He said, I want a condition before I take this pledge. He says, Amr, what is your condition? He said, oh Nabi of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, I want to make sure that if I take this pledge of Islam, Allah forgives all of my previous sins. I have a very bad life. I committed so many sins. I want to make sure that this Islam will forgive all my sins. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, oh Amr, do you not know? Accepting Islam forgives all of your previous sins and change them into good deeds. Making Hajj forgive all of your sins. And making Hijrah, migrating for the sake of Allah, also forgives all of your sins. Three things Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam told Amr radiallahu anh. So Hajj is one of those valuable things. Hajj is also that command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam finished at the end of his life, which was 2 months and few days after the demise of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. In the month of Rabiul Awwal, he passed away. He finished Hajj in the month of Al-Hajj, and Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, few months after his Hajj, he passed away and he left behind great messages from Hajj. One of those verses of the Quran, Surah Ma'idah, chapter 5, verse number 3, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed this verse of the Quran. اليوم أكملت لكم دينكم وأتممت عليكم نعمتي ورضيت لكم الإسلام دينا. The perfection of Islam, the perfection of favors, the perfection of this deen as Islam to us was given at the time of Hajj. So scholars have mentioned that Hajj itself is a means of perfection of our Islam itself. We may be living our life as we want it to, but when we perform Hajj, it's the seal of our Iman. It's the perfection of our Iman. It should better our Iman. Someone asked, how do I know that my Hajj is accepted? Because Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, as Shaykh mentioned to us, there is no reward for accepted Hajj except for Jannah. You cannot get anything less than Jannah for accepted Hajj. Someone asked, how do I know that my Hajj is accepted? So a scholar said something so beautiful. He said, if you come back from your Hajj, in which your life has changed from the sins towards from the obedience of Allah, and your heart feels inclined towards goodness and doesn't feel inclined towards wrong anymore, that means Allah has changed your heart. Allah has accepted your journey. So the time of Hajj in reality is the changing of our hearts. So just to briefly give you a scenario and summary, once we reach Medina Munawwara, inshallah, and we reach, of course, the hotel will be around 3 o'clock. Though the airport itself is very, very close towards the hotels itself. The airport itself. The airport in Medina does not contain a lot of logistics. If you land in Jeddah, it might be a little longer, but if you're in Medina Munawwara, it's much quicker. Within an hour or so, inshallah, we will be within our own hotel rooms, inshallah. Once we reach the hotel rooms, inshallah, there will be a counter. In the counter, there will be a listing, Al-Iman group itself. In that listing, you will be given your room keys. Once you get to your rooms, it's recommended that you bathe yourself. You wear something which is, clean and beautiful. Put some fragrance upon yourself with waqar and dignity. Go and see and visit the masjid of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It is mentioned that a group of people came from a locality as a tribe in Medina. They came towards Medina to see Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. When they all came towards Medina, they came towards the masjid. They were so anxious. They left their luggage, they left their camels, they left their animals outside, and they all rushed inside. So their leader, Shajja, who was the leader of them, he gathered all of their luggage, he gathered all of their camels and all their rides. He put it to the side, he cleansed himself, he beautified himself, and he presented himself to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And he said, you look like the leader of these people. Like you look like a person who has the quality of leadership. He said, yes, Ya Nabi Allah, I'm the leader of these individuals. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Allah has given you two things that He loves. He said, what are those? He says, perseverance. Meaning you do not jump into decision. You take time before you make a decision. You don't rush into decisions. Hilm burdbari. Meaning you don't rush into decisions. And secondly, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has bestowed you with patience, sabr. So then he said, Ya Nabi Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, did I gather these sifat and qualities myself? Meaning, did I work for these qualities? Or was I born with these qualities? So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, you were born with these qualities. So he raised his hands and he said, oh Allah, I'm so grateful to you that you send me with the qualities that you yourself loves the most. Meaning he's thanking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for it. So when we reach Medina Munawwara, inshallah, get to your hotel rooms, put your stuff, inshallah, get yourself a little bit ready, and go and visit the masjid of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Of course, we will talk about what the masjid itself is, what are the details, what is Riyadul Jannah. There are istiwana, the pillars. There are 8 pillars inside the masjid of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, which are marked with certain things. Istiwana, or the pillar of Tawbah, the pillar of Aisha radiallahu anha, the pillar of the guests, the pillars of those which were captives of wars, the pillar of Ali radiallahu anhu, the pillar of Abu Luba, meaning different pillars. 8 pillars are there. What are their fada'il? What are their virtues? What should we be doing there? Then you have the mihrab and the member of the Prophet of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Then you have the place where the Sahaba, as-Suffa, used to sit. You also have the place where Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to make the Hajj salah. Then you have a place which is between the member of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his house, which is known as Rawdatun min Riyad. It is Riyadul Jannah. It is a place of Jannah itself. The entire masjid has a different carpet that has a green carpet to itself, which signifies Riyadul Jannah, which is the place of Jannah itself. The sisters have 3 times during the day that they can also go inside, and they block it for the men. And the rest of the time, 24 hours a day, it is open for the brothers to go and visit that place and spend as much time as you can. It is also good that while we are in Medina Munawwara, inshallah, we will remember the seerah, the life, the qurbani, the sacrifice of the Prophet of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I will try my best, inshallah, to cover as much as I can of the seerah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam in Medina Munawwara. When we go towards the ziyarat, meaning on Monday, when we will go and visit different locations, for example, we will go to Quba. We will explain to you the seerah itself of what happened when Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was there. We will go towards Qiblatain, what happened there. We will go to the mountain of Uhud, how the Quran in 55 ayats in Surah Al Imran mentions the battle of Uhud itself and how it took place, so you can visualize the seerah in front of your own eyes, and the Quran becomes so much more beautiful towards you. So inshallah, in Medina Munawwara, our prime focus will be is to create the love of Sunnah, the love of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and the love of the city of Medina itself. One hadith I was reading, it says anyone who bears the mushakkat and difficulty of Medina, Rasulullah ﷺ said, I will intercede for them on the day of Qiyamah. One hadith of the Prophet of Allah ﷺ, anyone who leaves Medina saying that it's too difficult for me to live here, hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, authentic narration, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will exchange this person with someone better than him in Medina. Allah will always bring someone better than this person in Medina itself. So indeed, it is, as I always say, it is like being in a gold mine for a few days. Whatever you can take as much as you can. Set goals for yourself. From now, when you're going, make sure that you set goals for yourself. I want to read this much Quran. I want to make sure that I do this much dhikr. Otherwise, our time will come, our time will go, but we will not make our time productive. So inshallah, once we reach Medina, we'll talk about the details of all the things that we have to do. Once our time in Medina Munawwara is finished, we'll begin our journey from Medina Munawwara and we'll proceed towards Mecca. When we proceed towards Mecca, we will be performing our Umrah and Hajj now because we have not gone to Mecca as of yet. I will talk about these details, but I'm just giving you an overview of what to expect. When we leave Medina, inshallah, we will wear our ihram. We will go towards a place known as Abyar Ali, where Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam also stayed. He made the niyyah of his Hajj, and Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam began. Hajj is of 3 types, and I'll tell all of this inshallah in Medina in a lot more details, so don't worry about remembering them. Inshallah, you will memorize them when we speak about them. One type of Hajj is known as Hajj Ifrad. Ifrad means that you're only performing Hajj, you do not plan to do Umrah. Second type of Hajj is known as Hajj Qiran, which means that you will perform Umrah and Hajj both, but between your Umrah and Hajj, you will not open your Ihram. What does that mean? You will go towards Mecca, you will perform your Umrah, meaning 7 rounds around the Kaaba. You will go between Safa and Marwa, but you will not shave your head, you will not take off your Ihram. You will keep this Ihram. And you will continue in this Ihram till Hajj itself, which Rasulullah ﷺ did, but sometimes for many of us it becomes very difficult. Not recommended for everyone to do itself. That's called Qiran. The third type of Hajj, which is Hajj Tamattu, for many of us who will do, which usually I do every single year, is that once you leave Medina, you leave with the niyat of Hajj Tamattu. And that is that I will perform Umrah, and once I'm done with Umrah, I will come out of my Ihram. And then when the days of Hajj begin, I will re-wear my Ihram for Hajj again. So that during the course of 6-7 days that I have in the middle, I can be without my ihram and I can do all of my ibadat. But all of the details, inshallah, we'll talk about them there, so you do not worry about it. Our journey from Medina towards Mecca, it's a little long, but again, Hajj is patience, it's sabr, it's forgiveness. Sabr doesn't mean that do not harm and say anything difficult to others. That's my responsibility. Sometimes people say, brother, sabr is that I don't say anything wrong to others. No, that's your responsibility. That's not sabr. Sabr is when you take the difficulties of others and don't say anything. This is something to remember, brothers and sisters. Sabr doesn't mean I don't say anything to others. No, we're not supposed to say anything to others. Sabr is when difficulties come to us, I am only patient with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran that for 1 hasana I will give you 10 ajr. For 1 ayat of the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says 70. 1 ayat of the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says 700. But there is an ajib ayah of the Quran. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, for the sabirin of my ummah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, بِغَيْرِ hisab, I will give you without any accountability. Imagine the most ghani and the most generous. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, I will give you بِغَيْرِ hisab when you are sabir, when you are patient. That's why Imam Shafi rahmatullah alayhi said in the commentary, that if there was no other surah of the Quran except for Wal Asr, it would have been enough for the guidance of humanity, for success. And amongst 4 things that Quran mentions of success, the last but not the least is sabr itself. Patience. Brothers and sisters, learn a lot of patience. Sometimes things may not be what I plan. Things always go up and down. But be patient, be cool. Wallahi, I've seen individuals, and you will see it yourself, may Allah protect us from being a part of any of that. You will see people at the time of landing, some people will lose their Hajj right away. Some people in the middle of the Hajj. And some people, forgive me, even till the time that they are leaving, they will just leave their Hajj there and come back home empty-handed. Let's never say anything from our tongue which may cause harm to others. Someone asked, Ya Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, what is Hajj al-Mabrur? What is an accepted Hajj? Rasulullah said, say salam to others, feed others, and take care of others. This is what Rasulullah said. Spread salam, say salam to others, smile at others, take care of others, help others, be a means of comfort for others. Enjoying, we have enjoyed, but giving comfort to others gives you more joy than anything else. Be a means of helping others. Wallahi, Allah will take care of your Hajj itself. You're not even sure if my amal was correct, but helping someone else, Allah can accept their Hajj and Allah will also accept ours. So, again, going back towards, the aspect of patience and sabr and forgiveness during the course of Hajj itself. Rasulullah ﷺ mentioned, you can never know an individual until two things. Until you do a business transaction with them, or either you travel with them. Once you travel with someone, you know the haqiqat and the reality of this individual. What is this person? If you do a business transaction with someone, you know how this person is. Hadith of Rasulullah ﷺ, as-sadiq wal-masduq. The Nabi of Allah ﷺ is telling us, traveling and business shows the inner self of an individual. So going back quickly. So when we leave Medina and we come towards Mecca, inshallah, if you're doing the niyyah of Hajj Tamattu, you will perform Umrah and you will finish your rituals of Umrah and you will come out of Ihram. Umrah is very simple, very, very easy. Just to keep that in your mind, Umrah is very simple. You walk inside the Haram itself with your Ihram, with your intention. You go around, and there are details that we'll talk about this in Medina. But just give you an overview. Go around the Kaaba 7 times, make 2 rakats of salah, go between Safa and Marwa, and halaq, or shaving or cutting and clipping of your hair, and your Umrah is done. It's very simple, inshallah. Just keep it like this and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will make it easy for you. Once our Umrah is complete, we will be away from our Ihram, and now the rest of the days in Mecca can be spent in ease and comfort, and do as much ibadah as you can. Spend your time in Haram, in your dua, in your ibadat, in your supplications, but please also be careful. Do not overexert yourself that you have no strength for Hajj left itself. Sometimes people overexert themselves, but do not overexert that you do not have enough strength that you will be able to spend the time of Hajj properly itself. Hajj itself will be 5 days itself, originally, and of course the extension of the 6th day as well. Brief overview. The 8th of Dhul-Hajjah, the 9th of Dhul-Hajjah, the 10th of Dhul-Hajjah, the 11th and the 12th. These are the 5 days which mark the days of Hajj itself. We will be in the Mina tents. On the 8th of Dhul-Hajjah, which is known as the day in Mina, we will spend our entire day in Mina itself. And making all of our salawat, Dhuhr, Asr, Maghrib, Isha, and if possible Fajr. If not possible, right before Fajr, we will proceed towards Arafah. The 9th day, which is the 9th of Dhul-Hajjah, which is the 2nd day of Hajj, we will go towards Arafah, and we will go towards the plains of Arafah, and we'll have a little bit of rest before Dhuhr. And from Dhuhr onwards, inshallah, all the way towards sunset, will be continuous a'mal and action. That's the time where Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, for approximately 6 to 8 hours, with his hands up like this, prayed for the ummah itself. This is the day Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, after the day of Badr, the shaitan never felt as humiliated as he feels on the day of Arafah. The day of Arafah is whatever you want from Allah, you get from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's the day that you make your Hajj, or forgive me saying, for breaking our Hajj itself. The day that you can ask for anything and everything and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give you. And that's the moment that you have to prepare yourself. Yes, from Dhuhr till Maghrib might be a very long time. Spend some time inside the tent, which is covered when it's really, really hot. When you see the sun going down, you have at least an hour or two. Find a space outside that no one knows you, right? Hide in a corner somewhere, and consider yourself like the day of Qiyamah. يَوْمَ يَفِرُّ الْمَرْءُ مِنْ أَخِيهِ وَأُمِّهِ وَأَبِيهِ. A day when a father and a mother, a brother, a son, husband and wife, everyone will run away from each other, and everyone will be begging for their own needs and necessities. So find a place where you can cry and beg and tear. As Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiallahu anh said, if you cannot cry, just make the face of a crying man and Allah will still forgive you. This is how Kareem Allah is. This is how loving Allah is, how compassionate Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is. So we will spend our 2nd day of Hajj, which is the 9th of Dhul-Hajjah, in Arafah towards sunset. And once the sunset is done, we'll proceed towards Muzdalifah. We'll spend that night in Muzdalifah. We'll wake up in the morning of the 10th of Dhul-Hajjah, which is considered to be the day of Eid al-Adha. But for the Hujjaj, it is just the 3rd day of Hajj itself. We will come back towards Mina, inshallah. We'll pelt the 7 stones towards the big Jamara. We'll make the qurbani of our animals, and now we can proceed towards shaving of our head and coming out of ihram. So you are in literal ihram for about 2 days and few hours. You are not in ihram for more than 50, 60 hours. That's the total period of ihram for individuals. If you start on the morning of the 8th of Zul-Hajjah, the 9th of Zul-Hajjah, in the morning of the 10th, you open your ihram itself. So your ihram for Hajj is not extremely long, but all of the details, inshallah, will tell you in a lot more details that you feel comfortable. From the 10th of Dhul-Hajjah, now you're open to going towards Mecca and doing your tawaf ziyarah and sa'i between Safa Marwa. If you want to wait till the second day, the third day, you also have a chance. The 10th and the 11th and the 12th day, which is the 4th and the 5th day of Hajj itself, the only thing that you have to go and do is right across your tents will be a place which is known as the Jamarat, meaning the places of the pelting of the stones, the small, the middle, and the large stone. 7, 7, and 7. 21 stones for those next 2 days. And once you are done, then you go towards Mecca and perform your Tawaful Wida, and your Hajj is complete. Inshallah, as Sheikh Wahid was mentioning to us, you stay within the group, you stay together, and we keep on listening to what we have to do, inshallah. Our journey will be extremely valuable, extremely productive, and extremely easy itself. So I just want to make it clear again, inshallah, for many of us who are going towards Medina Munawwara first, either going on the 17th or the 18th, we will reach there on the morning of the 19th, which is the Saturday. Once we reach, inshallah, Medina Munawwara, we'll have enough time, inshallah, for 4 continuous days, inshallah. Saturday, Sunday, Monday is our ziyarat, and Tuesday, Wednesday we leave towards Mecca. These 4 complete days that we have, we will discuss every single portion of manasik, the 5 days, the 6 days of Hajj, the do's, the don'ts, the ihram, the umrah, all of the things to do in Mecca, inshallah, will be discussed. We'll also talk about the seerah of the Prophet ﷺ, the ziyarah of Medina Munawwara, the history of Medina, what to do in Medina, and all of those things will be discussed at that moment, so it remains fresh with you, inshallah. And again, if you do have any questions, you always have myself and other brothers available there too, inshallah. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept this from all of us. If you have any particular questions that you would like to ask, inshallah, we can ask for a few minutes, inshallah, and the brothers have some refreshments as well. We can do so. But if you do have any questions, inshallah, we can open the floors for a few questions at this moment, inshallah.
Are you on B4 program? The B4 program, as I said, you are landing in Medina on the 26th, which is the 4th of Zul-Hijjah, and then you will stay in Medina until the 30th of August, which is 4 nights, and then you fly on about 6 in the morning. I know already the flight has been reserved into Jeddah, and then we'll pick you up from Jeddah. Our buses will pick you up into Mecca. There is a parking there. Bus will park. You go in, you do your Umrah. And then if you wanna, your niyyah is tamattu, you just can shave, and when you go to Mina, you do your ihram again, and your intention for Hajj. If you're doing Quran, I mean, Quran, then it's Quran. For Hajj Mufrad, then it's Hajj Mufrad. So you're staying 4 nights, and then you're going direct to the Kaaba, doing the Umrah, and then going to Mina right away. You finish on the 12th of Zul-Hijjah, which is the 3rd. You go back for 2 nights at the Fairmont, possible night after that in Jeddah, and you are on your way back, inshallah.
So you can even do Quran if possible.
Yeah, and Quran or Tamattu, it's possible, this or that, whatever your intention is. And in also the days of Medina, you will have lectures to tell you what to do, what you're going to do it, how you're going to do it, inshallah.
Also, I would suggest few things that we should take with us. I know there's a list that things that are also from Al-Iman. You also get an email of the list things that you can take. But because it's extremely hot, if you want to take some, I know last year some brothers had taken some packets of Gatorade. They put it inside the water so they can electrolytes and they can rehydrate themselves. Sometimes it's extremely, you have all the juices and waters and everything available. If you want something that you could put in the water and get yourself hydrated through electrolytes, you can take that as well. I also suggest and recommend that having a backpack, it's very easy. You will receive the Al-Iman backpacks, but if you have like a proper backpack, it's much easier for you to travel because you can put all of your stuff easily The strings are much more comfortable, and it's something that you can travel with. I always travel with my North Face backpack, which is much comfortable. I can put a lot more stuff inside. Yes, I have my Al Iman bag as well, but I also keep that as well. That is something that you can always do. Once you also go towards Haram in Medina Munawwara, Makkah Mukarramah, make sure that when you go to the masjid in Medina Munawwara, you can put your shoes in a bag and wrap it up and put it in a shelf and take it. But in Mecca, you cannot. Make sure when you go inside the haram, put your shoes in a bag and put it in your backpack. Do not leave it at the door. Do not leave it outside, because you may not be coming at that door outside, or you may not find those shoes ever again. So make sure that you keep them with you at all times. Even if you're doing tawaf, it's okay. Just throw them in your backpack and keep them with you. These are little key pointers to make sure that we have these things lined up with us. Ihram itself will be provided itself, inshallah. If you would want an extra ihram, you can always purchase in Medina Munawwara. Some people want that I should have 2 ihrams or 3, whatever. It's your own comfort. Also, make sure that you travel light. Do not overdo it itself. Yes, have sufficient clothing for yourself, but make sure that you do not overpack yourself. Make sure you have your medications and everything also available at all times with you. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept this from all of us. I think Amir Sahib is saying that we should proceed towards some of the refreshments, but if anyone has any questions, I will be here till after Maghrib, inshallah. We can sit down and we can also discuss, inshallah. Okay, inshallah.
Whoever have, we have few passports there where we get, whoever have it, he will take it. If not, then you pick it up from the hotel, from the, from the office, or we mail it to you. And may Allah accept it from all of us, inshallah. Inshallah. And if you have any question at any time, from here until you travel, my phone number is 646-773-5314. Or if you call the office line, will come into my phone, I'll be